How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Day Dave, and this is the live stream for post episode 14. How is everybody doing out there tonight? I hope everybody's having a fantastic day so far. Let's see. Jody, how's it going? Good to see you. Glad to see you're able to come out tonight. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. Let's see. If you're out there in the chat, go ahead and give yourself a shout out. Let me know that you're out there. Good day so far. I am really glad to hear that. It has been one doozy of a day myself. It's been a good day. Been a really good day. Yeah, very happy right now. But we're going to wait a few more minutes just to see who else joins us here tonight, and then we will go ahead and get going. Got to chat with my number one buddy. Love it. Love it, Jody. I'm glad to hear that you're able to make it out here tonight. Like I said, we're just going to wait a few more minutes, see who else joins us here tonight. And like I said, if you're out there tonight, go ahead and give yourself a shout out. Let me know that you're out there. As I've said several times, well, great many a times, unfortunately, YouTube doesn't give us a running tally of who's all out in the audience. So if I don't see a chat message from you, then I have no idea you're there. That is the unfortunate realities. Ooh, I need to adjust my headphones. They're a little tight on my ear tonight. There we go. Now we're talking. Let's see. The fields on Missouri map are too big to handle. You know what? It's actually one of the topics I was going to talk about here tonight was that Alma, Missouri map. Yeah, you beat me to the punch there, Jody. But yeah, I tell you what though, I am really excited about that map. I really do like it personally. I totally get that there are definitely some fields on there that are really large, and I know the other Celebuki map. There's actually two of them, I believe. There's Goldcrest Valley 22 and Iowa Plains View, and both of them have pretty much the same issue there, is that they got a good range of different size fields, and some of them are pretty large. But yeah, I really love that map. I got to kind of tool around on it earlier today, and yeah, it's one of those that it just reminds me of home. Like I said, we'll wait one more minute, see who else joins us tonight, and then we'll get this party underway. Go ahead and take a drink. Much better, much better. So let's see how things are going about. Let's check a couple of settings here real quick to make sure everything's running smooth. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Okay, and yep, I do have the scroller running around the top, so that's good. Playing Goldcrest Valley today? Nice. I love that map. That is a good map. Alright, so let's go ahead and get going. So, I'm just kind of hanging out here by the lakeside here, just by the nice little bridge in the southern portion of the map. But let's go ahead and head over to the shop, because we got some work to do tonight. We've got quite a bit of contracts to work on. But yeah, so like I had mentioned, I wanted to start off this stream by... Wait a minute, where am I going? Am I going the right way? I am going the right way. Why am I walking? I don't know what I'm doing tonight. Oh, goodness. But yeah, I wanted to start off by talking about that Alma map. I love that map. That map, when I first got onto it and I started driving around, the amount of I'm home vibes, just, it sent shivers down my spine. So where I grew up in a very small town in southern Michigan. And where am I going? What am I doing? Who am I? What's going on here? Field 69. There it is. Anyways, grew up in an incredibly small town in southern Michigan, and when I drove through the town there and seeing all the American flags draping the poles, seeing the kind of wildflowers that were just lining the side of the roads, those white little wildflowers, and I know exactly what wildflower that is because that used to be in abundance in the area that I grew up, especially in the springtime, early spring to late summer. I'm sorry, early spring to midsummer. That was like the peak that you'd see those wildflowers. And just seeing that and seeing the town itself, it was very, very customized. That particular town, like there didn't appear to be anything that was just kind of stock standard, kind of plonked down on the map kind of thing. There was always just a little bit of something to catch your eye, and it was one of those that when everything was said and done and I took the sum of all the parts, I was just madly in love, head over heels. And I normally try not to just come right out and say like, oh, this is a 5 and this is, you know, this is going to be like great map, great map, great map. Just like keep on going around and just like throughout the tour, I was even kind of complimenting it throughout the tour, and I try not to do that. But my worst parts of me were getting the better of me, and what I mean by that is I couldn't control it. I was so excited. I was like a small child driving around on that map, and even better analogy, a small child at Christmas. I was so excited just driving around, seeing it, taking in all the sights. And I was sitting there thinking, oh, wouldn't it be cool to do this? Wouldn't it be cool to do that? There was a little itty bitty tiny forestry area, and it was just packed full of trees in this one small area. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, wouldn't that be cool to just cut all those trees down to be able to make a cool little a cool little field or just something in that immediate area. I kept sitting there just thinking all these cool little thoughts, and it's like, oh, just little ideas just started bubbling up to the surface. So yeah, when everything was said and done, I kind of showed my hand very, very early on that map and just came right out and said it. It was just one of those, I couldn't contain myself by the time that it came to render my opinion and let everybody know what I thought of it. I was absolutely tickled pink with it. But yeah, the color palette, the amount of different fields, the amount, especially the grass fields, that's what honestly shocked me the most, is there was a ton of grass fields over by the one cow farm in the eastern portion of the map. That I thought was really cool, and all those fields were just like the rest of them, very oddly shaped, and it had a very Stone Valley vibe to it. I had mentioned that in the map tour itself, is that it reminded me so much of that kind of, you know, Stone Valley, the way that everything was kind of shaped and laid out. It also uses the BC Bueller swathing pack and all that stuff, so I thought that was really cool. It's just, at the end of the day, like, you could tell there was a lot of love put into that map, and yeah, if it wasn't already known, I was already a big fan of Iowa Plains View. That was one of the maps that I did a series on, and yeah, that's has a lot of the Iowa Plains View vibe to it, as well as the Stone Valley vibes. So at the end of the day, I really, really liked it. But let me catch up to the chat just real quick. Let's see. So, Jody, you were saying you're playing on Goldcrest Valley today. Now, which version, Jody, were you playing on? Were you playing on Goldcrest Valley 22 or Goldcrest Valley? Because there's two different versions of that map. There's the one map by Celebuki, which is Goldcrest Valley 22, and it has all the kind of modernized and additional production points, like the ketchup factory and all that stuff. Kind of similar to the Alma, Missouri map. And then there's another one, I believe that one's by don't quote me, but I think it's by Puma 451 or Puma something. I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head. But yeah, both versions are nice. I prefer out of the two the Celebuki one just because of the additional uh, items that are kind of thrown into it. But yeah, both of them are good versions. Let's see. Doing Piney Run map. Oh yeah, Piney Run. That's a good map. I really like Poor Boy. If you're big time into forestry work, then Poor Boy is hard to beat when it comes to forestry maps. Let's see. Jody, I want to like the map. I don't know. I don't know how to do Big Bill. I don't know how to do big fields. So it's one of those that it's nice to have big fields every once in a while because you can kind of do the outermost perimeter and just set it and forget it. So if you want to have a moment to be able to just kind of step away from the game and just kind of let it do its thing, kind of thing, that's a good way to go about it. But there are certainly some jobs that just make it take forever. If you got a big field and you've got something like potatoes and sugar beets that you have to harvest, you could literally dedicate hours and hours and hours to just that one task. It is really overwhelming sometimes. So trust me, I completely understand when somebody says that they're not a huge fan of big fields and stuff. There are definitely times where it can definitely be a disadvantage, the big fields. But it's one of those things too that it can also be a nice advantage to allow people to either step away, to if you're into just hanging out and maybe watching some YouTube on the side or something while you're sitting there kind of chugging away and doing the jobs, that's something else that can be done too. It's just, that's the great thing about this game. And as I keep saying, it's so personalized. It is so tailored to everybody's needs and wants. So that's what I absolutely love about it. Let's see. Dust Bunny, evening Big D and Jody. Hope everyone's doing good. It's Puma145. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Dust Bunny. Yes, 145. I always. That's why I tend to go by names and not numbers. I always go by Dust Bunny. Jody, I'll go by Crimea River. I always forget numbers. It's I don't know why. It's just how my brain works. So I always just like, oh yeah, I think that's Puma, or I think that's Dust Bunny, or whatever, Mac Trucker 528 question mark. But yeah, that's just how it works for me. Jody, Valley 22, yes. Okay, so you are on Celebuki's version. Very nice. I'm trying to give it another go. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely worth a look. I really do like Celebuki's version because, like I mentioned before, there's so many additional productions that are based on that map, as opposed to Puma's version of it. It's very much a kind of pull forward from FS19 and beyond. There's very little in the ways of what makes FS22 FS22. It's very much a kind of pull through. Is the best way. 921. Okay. You know what? Anytime I need numbers from now on, Dust Bunny, I'm going to you. I'm just going to say, okay, Mac Trucker, and take it away, Dust Bunny. That's what we'll do from now on. Let's see. Say hello to the missus for me. Absolutely. We'll say hello to the missus. And we got to meet your sister in the last stream. Tell her that we said hello if she's not in the background. Oh goodness, I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Was it Hillbilly Farmer? Anyways, say hello to your sister for us. Tell her thank you again for giving us an update and letting us know how things are going with you. How are things going for you, by the way? We haven't gotten an update from you here in a little bit. About a week ago, I think, was the last time we spoke. But yeah, we got to meet your sister. We all hung out in the last live stream. It was really nice being able to kind of just kick back and relax, and as we tend to do in these streams. But let's see. You know what? This should be good to go. We're gonna miss this little trailing edge here for a little bit, but that's fine. And do. Okay, the next one we need to work on is fertilizing, and that's on field 54. Where's 54? 54. Ooh, that's the big one down the road. Okay. Nice. And then we'll do this. Ooh, and we need fertilizer. I forgot we don't have any. Let's go ahead and buy that. Pallets. Fertilizer. Ooh, that was lucky. And let's see. Jody says, "How's your day, Dust Bunny?" And also, you're gonna do Alma, or Siri, Missouri, but I think you mean Alma, Missouri. Let's see, Dust Bunny. She's supposed to be watching. Hopefully, she's stopped in and says hi. I will tell her. Yes, Hillbilly Farmer. House finally sold. Nice, nice. Living with my son and daughter-in-law until Mom Cave is built. That's awesome. So glad to hear that you're able to sell your place and that you moved in with your son and daughter-in-law. Let's see. Also, talking to contractors on Monday. Mr. Jody Beard, my day is going well, sir. How is it? How about yourself? Awesome. So glad to hear that. Hopefully, you're able to get the Mom Cave all built out real quick. You're not having to go without it for too terribly long. That'd be one of those things. It's just one less thing on the plate, and able to just kind of kick back and relax and enjoy, your new living arrangements. So I'll certainly keep you in my thoughts, and hopefully everything works out for you real quick, so that you get comfortable and everything works out. Let's see. Finish loading. Bam, look at that. Exactly 10,000 liters. Oh dear, clobbered the lime. Ay, ay, ay. Gotta love it. Let's see. Jody, what you gotta get done on the farm? So, for the farm itself, nothing in particular on this particular live stream. Ooh, you know what? Ooh. Reverse. Let me make sure that I have this on deactivate automatic. It's been a while since I've had to do fertilizing contracts, so I'm not used to making sure that my application is all changed. Change. There we go. Perfect. Whenever doing fertilizing contracts and you have what's it called? Precision farming. Whenever you have precision farming on and you're doing contracts, you don't own the field, make sure that you tweak down the precision application rate as low as it can go. It'll save you fertilizer at the end, and it completes the contract. So very nice little way of kind of making sure that you're not spending more than you have to, as well as not using more than you have to. So let's kind of, all right, so yeah, we're towards the edge. Good enough. There we go. So we're just going to kind of go around. So like I was saying, not a whole lot that needs to be done around the farm at the moment. We just, in the last episode, were able to harvest the main field there at the farm. Got up all the rye. Need to figure out what I can do with the rye itself. I don't think there's anything that can be done necessarily with the rye. I need to check out maybe the grain mill and see if there's something that can be done with it at the grain mill, or any of the other kind of pre-installed production chains on the map. It's just one of those that I kind of wanted to grow it just to say, hey, we grew rye. It's a product that's only available, or not only available, but is unique to this map, and just wanted to kind of say that we did it. But unfortunately, when I did that, I wasn't thinking, 2 steps ahead, and was like, okay, well, what can I do with the rye? Had I been thinking 2 steps ahead like I should have, I would have actually been like, okay, well, I'm going to actually just say skip the rye, maybe do it later in a smaller field, not the main field. Because what ended up happening is, like I said, I really don't have anything to do with it other than to try and either sell it outright or figure out something else I can use for it. So it's one of those that at the end of the day, just got to kind of figure things out. Let's see, catch up to the chat. Okay, well, you gotta get done with the farm. My wife found out she's pregnant. Hey, congratulations, Jody. That's excellent. Is this your first kid, or? Let's see, Dust Bunny. Congratulations, Mr. Jody and wife. Hey, same question. Is this your first baby? Oh, that is awesome. That is excellent. Yeah, kids are fantastic. Just absolutely amazing. Just, I never realized what kind of a life I was missing before having my daughter. It's one of those where if you would have told me 10, 20 years ago that having a kid, you're going to have some of the best experiences, the deepest fears, just run this kind of gambit of emotions, I would have been probably terrified. But after having my daughter, I can say with 100% conviction that it is the best thing I have ever done with my life by far. By far and away, it is the number one greatest thing. And one of the things that I will always measure my life up to, kind of before she was born to after she was born. But yeah, congratulations again, Jody. That's fantastic. Very, very happy for you. Do you know how far along she is, or like a due date or anything like that by chance? And you know what just dawned on me? it's just occurred to me. So last stream that we had, Jody, we had for your birthday, and now we're having another stream just for well, not just for, but just so happens a baby announcement stream. This is fantastic. I love it. I absolutely love it. Let's see. Hillbilly Farmer, hey, good evening, Big Daddy. Just got back from the taco truck and bring dinner home. Now I'm ready to watch your stream. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks for joining us tonight. So now we got Dust Bunny, we got Hillbilly Farmer. That is fantastic. Let's see, Jody, start the play on the map. Let's see. Howdy, glad that you made it. Mr. Jody and his wife are having a baby. Yes, so that, like I said, absolutely fantastic. So happy for you, and yeah, can't wait to keep getting the updates and letting us know how everything's going, because that is fantastic in my book. Let's see, let's go ahead and collect on that. 20 grand. Oh, 21. Nice. Nice. Let's see, so we've got the cultivator. That should be, whoops. Yep, that's chugging along just fine. Now, we need to harvest. This is going to 17. Oh, okay, that's that little thin field up in the north. There we go. We'll attach this. Ooh. Well, that's not good. Something isn't right here. Let's see. Never liked precision farming. You know what? It's one of those that I didn't like it much either, but I forced myself to like keep playing with it. And the reason that I kind of did that was because otherwise I would have no practical purpose for a lot of the pieces of equipment that are in this game. For example, the manure spreaders, the what are they? The fertilizer booms, the sprayers, the slurry spreaders, things like that. There's no real practical purpose in the base game other than having another set of equipment that can do the same job. And what I mean by that is in the base game, you get a single fertilizing state based on whatever fertilizer product that you use. We'll use fertilizer as an example. So if you go into a fresh field, you can use one fertilizer equipment. Let's use just a normal solid fertilizer spreader as an example. You can put down the solid fertilizer for state number 1, then empty it, put in your lime, that changes the ground state, and then you can go back with the solid fertilizer again for state number 2. And if you do it in that order, your field's done at that point. You don't have to do anything else beyond that. And it basically cuts out the need for that kind of third set of equipment of the manure spreaders, of the slurry spreaders, of the fertilizer sprayers, and things like that. So it's one of those that I basically got used to playing this version simply because it still doesn't require you to use the fertilizer spreaders or the manure spreaders or slurry spreaders, but it makes them kind of practical because it also builds into that precision score that you get and allows you to kind of better utilize. Whoa, I can't stop. I'm sorry, car, I'm sorry. I've got a 15-ton harvester. It doesn't stop on a dime. This isn't a Maserati. Oh, goodness gracious. But yeah, it's just one of those that with the precision farming, it kind of incentivized me to start using some of the other equipment that I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to use with the base game. So long story short, that's the kind of mindset that I had when I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and use precision farming and kind of go from there. Let's see. Let me catch up with the stream real quick. Oh, here we go. Dust Bunny, Big D, it seems like having babies is a trend with your viewers. Lol, new farmers. Hey, you know what? It's one of those that more babies into a loving family is a great thing. It's one of those that if you have, you know, a mother and father who are, I don't want to say necessarily ready, because I don't think anybody, especially when it's their first, is ever truly ready. But it's one of those that if you have a mother and father who are willing to receive and give love to their children, that is one of the most important things that any family can have to begin the journey that is parenthood and the creation of a family. So it's like I said, I think it's a fantastic thing, you know, having kids and raising the next generation, and you know, making it to where you're never sure what kind of potential your child is ever going to have. kind of thing. So it's one of those that when you sit there and you dedicate your life to them and put their needs and their development first, then it offers your personal life. Like, I feel like before I had my daughter, that I don't want to say that my life was quote unquote hollow. I don't want it to sound like that. But I feel like my life has a much higher purpose now that my daughter's in my life than it had before. And I don't think a lot of people without children kind of understand or appreciate, especially younger people. They just don't grasp, or they don't understand that the how do I want to say this? Wow, holy smokes. What is going on here? I'm sorry, I just got completely distracted by the sheer number of stones that are on the ground here. Anyways, I don't think a lot of younger people, and particularly younger and childless people, I don't think they have wow, you can see all the stones that are right in that patch there. Anyways, I don't think they have an appreciation or an understanding of what it's like to kind of create that sacrifice of foregoing potential wants and desires of your own for the kind of betterment and advancement of one's child. And I personally really look forward to all the things that have yet to come for my daughter. I look forward to putting in the time and energy that is going to take to make her into the best possible person that she can be. So that, I mean, I think it's fantastic, and whenever I hear that somebody's having kids, that's a fantastic thing. You know, let's see. Get back to the chat. My second one, my other baby. Oh, Jody, I'm so sorry to hear that. But you know what? Hopefully, you know, I'll certainly be keeping you in my prayers, making sure that you know, this one is around for you. But congratulations! I really hope that it all works out in the end. Like I said, I think it's a fantastic thing. So good on you, and congratulations to you and your wife. Let's see. Dust Bunny, I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Jody. I will keep your wife in my prayers. See, we're tagging off of each other there, Dust Bunny. I hear you there. Jody, talking to my wife, long time. Yeah, it's really hard. It's incredibly hard. I've not experienced it to that level with a stillborn, but my wife and I, we've gone through a lot ourselves. So my daughter is an IVF baby. We were trying for years to have a baby, and the one time that we actually had a pregnancy that was not involving the IVF, it turned out that it was they call it an ectopic pregnancy. And for those who are not aware of what that is, an ectopic pregnancy is when the baby is attached to somewhere other than the womb, and in her case it was actually attached in the fallopian tube, and it was starting to grow from there, and obviously without it being attached to the proper part of the body, it can grow and rupture the fallopian tubes and all that stuff. So unfortunately we had to, you know, terminate that pregnancy because it just wasn't going to be viable beyond that point. So unfortunately we had to go through that heartache and whatnot. So I although didn't experience it to the degree that you have, I understand the hurt and the heartache that you went through there. that your wife had to go through. So I do sincerely apologize, and I'm sorry for the hurt and the pain that you all had to suffer through. It's tough. It's incredibly tough. But like I said, hopefully everything works out for the best this time. It goes through smoothly. So like I said, I will absolutely be keeping you in my thoughts and in my prayers, and be sending you nothing but the best vibes that I can possibly send to you. Let's see. 3.5 weeks. That's fantastic, Jody. Fantastic. Let's see. Make sure everybody knows all of the updates. Yes. Keep us informed. Let us know how everything's going. Like I said, we'll be rooting and cheering for you. I found it a lot easier to play, a lot easier for me. Not using. Yeah. So, and I get it. I totally get that. Precision farming, I mean, there's tons and tons of stuff with precision farming that you have to be aware of. I mean, more than just the kind of general gameplay mechanics. Too far. There we go. More than just the general kind of gameplay mechanics, you have to also be cognizant of the ground states. For an example here, you gotta obviously pay attention to weeding and all that stuff. It comes up sparse and spotty, so you can do things like spot spraying, so you can save on your herbicide. You're not spending all your money on just wasting herbicide where there's not herbicide needing to be gone. You have to pay attention to yields based on the particular crop types and the soil types that are in the ground. So there's just so much more to pay attention to and to be cognizant of as you're playing it. So it's just unfortunately one of those that it's a lot more to handle and a lot more to pay attention to. But like I said, I feel like kind of the headaches and the pains that come with using precision farming are outweighed by the kind of benefits that you get. You can use less fertilizers, you can use less herbicides, you can use less manures, and so on and so forth. So it makes the kind of experience of playing the map just a little bit quote unquote closer to reality, because you are having to be cognizant of those things in the real world, but at the same time it allows you the opportunities to kind of save and scrimp, especially when you're first starting off. It makes it a little bit easier because you're not having to spend tons of money on fertilizer, because you have mechanisms to save the money. You have the ability to save in so many different ways. So it's just one of those that the game style is more difficult, but the kind of overall game itself is a little bit easier, if that makes sense, because you're not having to spend so much money frivolously. Let's turn that off. Wait until this unloads. And let's go ahead and collect on that. Awesome. Just finished dumping this out. Perfect. And now we can probably set a worker. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe not. Because we've only done 2 on this side. And once we get down to those tree lines, it'll start throwing a fit, I'm sure. Let's see. Let's catch up with the chat. Dust Bunny. And don't forget the monetary rewards when you sell your... Yes, that's the other really cool thing as well. I don't use precision farming either. Too much hassle for me. And you know what? I totally understand. There's so much going on with precision farming that it can be a real nuisance. But it's one of those that, like I said, to me, the rewards kind of outweigh the risks kind of thing. I cannot get over how many stones are on this field. I want to buy this field just so I can pick up the stones. Look at that. I've never seen a field do this before. That is just nuts. That is just blowing my mind. And I don't know why. Hey, Jody, no problem. Like I said, this is what we are trying to build here, is a great supportive community where people come around and just hang out and just be awesome with each other. You know, like I said, I know so many other communities where people will kind of, for lack of a better word, be toxic to each other. You know, they'll sit there like what I've explained that happened with Lancey Boy and stuff like that. There are certain people out there who will just kind of drive people nuts. But it's one of those that what I'm striving for with this channel, with this community, is just a great place for everybody to kind of hang out, sit back, relax, and just have a great time. And have the opportunity, like what we just did here, to share a moment of something incredibly special happening. You know, like I said, I cannot overstate it enough that I'm really happy for you two, and that I really wish for you the best. So at the end of the day, that's the kind of community that I want to try and foster, that I want to try and have, is one that supports each other, where we can all come together. If we have questions, we can ask said questions. If we have, you know, kind of concerns going on in life, we can either just come here to kind of, you know, get away from those concerns, or we can, you know, air them out for you know, either to talk about or whatever. It's this channel that we're making here is going to be what I'm trying for, is an incredibly flexible space where everybody can just come around and be themselves, hang out, have a great time, where we don't have to worry about, you know, the negative trials and tribulations that happen in life. We can just come here and just have fun. Let's see. 6.5 months in hospital. Sorry, Jody, what do you mean by that one there? That one I missed out on. Well, I might as well just complete this, because doing the 2 headlands really isn't going to do me too good to just hire a worker at this point. Might as well just do the work. She appreciates the great love in the community. Well, hey, you know, like I said, give her a shout out and just let her know that we're all going to be rooting for you, and you know that we wish you all nothing but the best. We genuinely mean that. Let's see. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish out this. There's no sense in hiring a worker at this point. There we go. Oh, hey, missed a little chunk there. Oh, but going back to the whole Alma, Missouri discussion that we were having earlier, the great thing about the Mod Hub now, and having these maps that have such massive fields on them, is now that we have harvesters like the Colossus pack and the Reaper pack that was just put out by Mac Trucker, which I know You know, I'll talk about that after I finish this thought. But having those mods on the mod hub now makes maps with large fields, in my opinion, an absolute breeze, because you can have the massive capacities, you can have the faster speeds. You don't have to necessarily be limited to making hundreds of trips back and forth, and it just being, you just basically playing a game of tag with the harvester kind of thing. It's like, oh, it's your turn. Oh, it's my turn. Oh, it's your turn. Now it's my turn. Kind of thing. It's one of those that at the end of the day, because of mods like that, and especially with all the mods that we have on the mod hub for trailers and semi trucks and all that stuff. Um, I know Mr. Sealy P jokes about it's a break in the space time continuum, and uh, the shift of quantum mechanics and all this really I think it's funny, but just this kind of you know ridiculousness in the amount of sizes that we have available to us now. um, yeah, it can make very light work of a very big field. So it's one of those that I no longer find the big fields and big maps to be quote unquote intimidating kind of thing, to whereas before I was very hesitant on playing a big map because it would take me days to record a single episode kind of thing. I wouldn't be able to get much done. And also, now that we have this live stream series to where we're able to kind of do all this work in the background, uh, when it's just kind of the same stuff over and over, and I can provide this kind of commentary and just kind of hang out with everybody, um, it makes it a more viable opportunity to be able to have those maps with bigger fields. So yeah, when I saw Alma, Missouri come out last night, I was just so excited. Like I said, because it just made me feel like home. Like that was the first thing. Is like, wow. I went through town and I'm like, I've been through that town before. I've never been to the state of Missouri, but I looked at it and it's like, I've been through this town before. I've seen towns like this before, and it just hit so close to home that I'm like, you know what, this is awesome. Awesome. I love it. Everything about it just struck real to me. Like I said, it just, what may sound to some as maybe a little silly, but seeing those flags on the telephone poles, on the light poles throughout the town like that, I cannot tell you the number of times I've gone to like my cousin's house or up there in Michigan, or going through the small town that I grew up in, and just seeing that year round. Like, you might see some towns pop up where, the 4th of July or Labor Day, or not Labor Day, Memorial Day, you'll see the flags pop up in town kind of thing, and it's there for like a week and then they're gone again kind of things. Like this short stint of, hey, we love our country, we're gonna celebrate it for this small town or small time kind of thing. But where I grew up, I would see that in every single small town I passed through all the time. And in the one I grew up, it was like that year round. There'd be different kind of flags or different kind of decorations, like the little half moon fans that would be out there in the kind of red, white, and blues kind of thing. Like, that kind of stuff was so common. And when I saw that on the map, I'm like, yes, yes, that reminds me of what I would see in a small town. That reminds me of the kind of small town vibe. It just felt real. And then when I read in the description how it was based off of, like, all the buildings and stuff were based off of what was actually in that town, that was next level to me. And oh, so close. Oh, come on. Oh, we're so close. There we go. Perfect. All right, let's take this ride back to the farm. Ooh, turn. There we go. And hey, we're finally starting to get a positive environmental score. So one kind of bad thing about this map is here. You know what? When we get there, I'll show you. But one real bad thing about this map is that there's a portion of the map that you own, and for some reason, it recognizes this portion of the land to have an environmental score associated to it. So it naturally degrades over time because you're not actually affecting anything that's on the property that you own. But for some reason, it registers as if it's, got a field on it and that it's something that you can affect. Well, when I first came on and started doing the series, my score was below 50%. So I was actually losing money every single time I would sell something. And it was only like, $100 here, $200 there if it was a really big, sale of product. But it's one of those that it always stings. Even though it's $100, it stings to lose money unnecessarily. So now that I'm finally seeing, those positive numbers for the precision bonus, I'm pretty stoked about that. I need to be looking at the screen and not at the not at the chat. Ay ay ay. I sit here and wonder sometimes if I were to be driving in real life like this, how much trouble I would get myself into. If I drove in real life the way I drive in this game, just the amount of I would obviously be in jail for tons of hit and runs like what we did just now. I'd be in, probably in prison for creating, 50 car pileups and all sorts of, nonsense. Like, ugh, it's just, it's just a trip, just a trip. All right, so let's. Oh, you know what? Oh, hey, easy, easy, easy. So, Jody, you asked earlier what I could be doing around the farm. I can do this. I completely forgot. I need to get the field back up and running. We're in July, right? So, what can we do? Poplar and grass and alfalfa? Yeah. Really nothing worth mentioning right now. Let's see. So, there we go. So let's go ahead and we'll do 57, and that's, ooh, that's spelt. Okay. Let's do that one. Let's do 20 and 32. Why not? Oh, I probably accepted that too fast. Oh, nope. So, oftentimes what ends up happening is if you accept contracts way too fast, you'll have all your equipment just pile up on each other. Last stream I did, all my equipment was just right on top of each other. It was a nightmare. But thankfully I didn't accept it too quickly. Let me catch up with the stream real quick just to see what's going on at the moment. Let's see. She appreciates all the love, a great love, and the community. Awesome. I've that's awesome. Let's see. Love playing the game and having fun with it. Absolutely. So you're saying that your wife was in the hospital for 6.5 months? Oh, wow. Oh, that's rough. I'm sorry to hear that, Jody. I really am. Uh, let's see. Oh, this is Jody's wife, Amy. Hey, Amy. Nice to meet you. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're having a fantastic night. Congratulations, by the way. Jody just told us what was going on, so we're really happy for you and really hope everything works out the best for you. Let's see. Peter, how's it going? Hello, BDD. Hope you're well. I'm doing fantastic tonight. I am having such a good day so far. I hope you're having a great day as well, Peter. And then Hillbilly Farmer, hello, Amy. Glad to see you join the chat. Yes, absolutely. So glad everybody's here tonight, hanging out and having a good time with us here tonight. Let's go ahead and get this rocking and rolling so we get the... Let's see, this one was for... Yes, 57. Going to the farmer's market. Now, where is 57? Oh, just down the road. Nice. So we'll go ahead and... Oops. There we go. This is my cheaty way of slapping the headers onto the trailer. I especially use this during live streams. This is just so easy and quick. But there are some trailers. I don't remember which one it was. But if you were to slap it down like that, opposite way, it just locks it in place, kind of thing. I don't know if it's an issue with the trailer, but it doesn't like auto adjust. So it's really kind of weird how it works sometimes. And I wish... Oh, there. Now see, this is what I'm talking about. You know, technically they turned in front of me, so this is their fault. Like I said, if I drove even half as bad in real life as I do in this game, just lock me up and throw me away for the rest of my life at least. Let's see. Let's see. Dust Bunny. Hello, Mr. Peter. How are you doing tonight? Doing well, Miss Amy. How are you feeling? Let's see. Oh, hey, MGL. Hello, BDD and viewers. I'm on the East Coast, Australia. First time finding your channel. Well, hey, thanks for joining us tonight. How are you doing tonight, MGL? Thanks for joining us all here tonight. Dust Bunny says, welcome, MGL. It should be an afternoon in your part of the world. Holy smokes, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, East Coast of Australia. Holy smokes. That's, I keep saying this because every live stream here over the past, like, 3 or 4 streams, I've had people from all over the world checking out the streams and coming in and hanging out with us, and I think it's fantastic. And I you know, say this is such awesome technology, the way that things kind of work nowadays compared to like when I was a kid. You know, if I wanted to talk to somebody like in Australia, oh wow, midday. Whew. Yeah, see, I'm on the East Coast of America, and right now it is 10:30 at night. So that's crazy. That just blows my mind. But like I said, if I wanted to talk to somebody, you know, from another country, you know, when I was growing up, it was one of those, we used to have pen pals, you know, where we would write letters and it would take months to get some kind of response back and all that. But here we are getting to talk in real time with people all over the globe. It's fantastic. I absolutely love it. Let's see. Hillbilly Farmer says, welcome, MGL. Glad you found and decided to join us. Absolutely. Absolutely glad to see you all here. Let's see. Dust Bunny. Jody Baird. Amy, you should have Mr. Jody set up your own sign-in. Yes. Yes, you should. Do you play FS also? We need more women to play. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Just more people in general. I mean, just such a fantastic game for anybody who may just happen to pop in and see this kind of gameplay and all this stuff. I will put my stamp of approval not only on this game, but just on the absolute sheer versatility that this game allows. It is so customizable to everybody's needs, everybody's wants, however you want to play. If you want to be the truest of truest farmers, all the way to the most absurd, maybe not absurd, that might be to the most unrealistic. There we go. That's the... You know what? This isn't a words are hard moment. I won't go there. But I will say it's one of those where, because of the versatility of this game, it can be anything that anybody wants it to be. And what's absolutely hilarious is that you've got maps out there that will literally be anything but farming related. And what I mean by that is you got like the rock crawl, which yes, you could turn into farming, and you got to, but it's not set up to be farming. It's meant to be a rock crawling map, you know, to where you just kind of tool around with different vehicles on cliff faces and stuff. You know, shout out to Alien Jim, and I wish Alien Jim would come back. I don't know where they've been over the past year or so. Um, there's other maps where they're meant to be just something other than this, and that's the great thing about this game is you can do that. You can, if you just want to kind of come out and blow off some steam and not do any farming, that's available. If you want to come on and be the most realistic farmer, that's available too. If you want to be the most unrealistic, that's available too. This game is just so versatile and whatever anybody wants it to be. Let's see. Let me catch back up. Peter, live in Queensland. Well, hey, that's that's awesome. I love it. I absolutely love being able to just chat with just everybody across the globe. It is so, to this day, I've done it now. I've done YouTube for over a year and have doing live streaming, I don't know, maybe 6 months or so, maybe, give or take. That's certainly not precise, but to this day it still blows my mind when we get to talk to people from around the globe, around the country. Just it's just incredible. It's awesome, and I love being able to find and hang out with new people who come to join the stream, to hang out and to join the community. You know, it's just a fantastic thing. So welcome everybody from America to Australia to all over the globe. You're all welcome here. Thank you all so much for stopping in tonight, hanging out with us tonight. It is fantastic. I absolutely adore it. Let's see. Jody, how are you doing tonight? You're having a good night? Yes, it is a fantastic night so far. MGL Sunshine Coast here. Okay. Now I know where. I'm aware where Queensland is in relative terms. Not sure Sunshine Coast though. That's not one I'm familiar with. And let's get kind of straightened out here, and I think we can kind of fire up a worker and let them go to town. And then Dust Bunny. I think it's great that people from all over the world can join into the chat. Absolutely. It is fantastic. And it's amazing because it's in real time. Like I said, when I was growing up and doing the kind of pen pal thing, if I remember properly, and this was back when I was really young, about maybe 30 plus years ago, I think I had a pen pal over in somewhere in the United Kingdom, maybe. I think it was actually, you know what, I better do two headlands because I'm just gonna fight with this road right here. It's not gonna end well when everything's all said and done. So yeah, we'll do two headlands. That should help out. But I believe they were over in Scotland. Was it Scotland? No. Anyways, not important. The final destination is not important. What is to the story is that they were overseas, and it literally took months. Like, it was a solid month to a month and a half before you could actually get a response. And it was always, because it was so long, it was one of those just very generic kind of, you know, hey, how are you? Hope you've been doing well. Haven't heard from you in a long time. You know, that kind of, you know, very generalized talk that you really couldn't get too deep into details about and all that. But here, we're actually able to communicate with each other in real time from all over the world. It's fantastic to be able to do that, and the technology and being able to do that is just, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And then you kind of, go into like the next level of things where, we could be halfway across the globe from each other and find out that we all can come together around the interest and love of a single product. Like, we have something in common with somebody who's on the complete other side of the world. Like, when you really get down to it, you really think about it, it's really cool. It's really cool to find that there's more than just humanity that kind of brings us all together, like our common sense of humanity. There's, all these things that we have in common that without this technology we would never know, kind of thing. We would never understand that, hey, we're all kind of here to hang out, to have fun, and to watch Farming Simulator, and to listen to me kind of blither on about how cool it is, kind of thing. It's, like I said, it's one of those that it'll never stop amazing me because of where I started out in life, where I've seen technology kind of progress in just my lifetime. It's fantastic. Let's see. Peter, I live 6 hours from Brisbane. Okay. The game offers really good place for like-minded people to hang out and chill. Yes. And that's it exactly. Whoops, wrong button. Is that we can all just come together for the love of the game, and then it turns out that oftentimes, we often share, because this is such a quote-unquote niche game. Oftentimes we share very similar ways of thinking, or similar trains of thought, kind of thing. And it's fantastic. It's a really cool thing to kind of allow us to all come together around and to really experience what the world has to offer, kind of thing. Like I said, when doing these live streams, I try and keep it as open as possible to be able to go from one topic to another, to where there's no real limitations. For the most part, there are certain things that I don't like to discuss on this channel, politics being one of them, because I don't think politics gets us anywhere good, kind of thing. We're here to have fun, not to kind of duke it out in the ring of politics, kind of thing. And I've seen too many instances where that just drives people apart unnecessarily. I want to focus more on what can entertain us and bring us all closer together, rather than worrying about what can drive us apart. So that's kind of the essence and the goal behind the channel as well. Let's see. Jody says, appreciate it. What is your name? And MGL says, aka Mike. Well, Mike, again, awesome to meet you. Really glad you're able to stop in and hang out with us all tonight. Yeah, it has been a fantastic day so far over here for me. So as many of our regular viewers know, I have started a new job, and that's going fantastic. I'm now officially into my past my first week. I'm into my second week now, and it's going better than I could have ever imagined. The last time I spoke of it, it was one of those where I was really kind of nervous because I wasn't exactly sure how it was going to work out, and that with the people who were kind of recommending me for the job, if I was going to potentially let them down or anything like that, because they were such a higher up in the company I work for, was it possible for them to kind of overhype me, kind of thing. And with them being so high, I don't want to then all of a sudden fail at their recommendation. And then, so there was a ton of stuff that was just kind of weighing on me. But so far, everything's going fantastic. Had a lot of really good productive meetings here this week, and all of them ended with, "Hey Dave, you're doing a fantastic job. Really glad that you're in this group with us." So yeah, that led to a very, very good days, made a really good week. And anybody who works a job they where they get that kind of, you know, appreciation, you know what, maybe not appreciation is the right word, that kind of, I don't know, attaboy, for lack of a stronger word. um, it goes a long ways. It really does. To people don't realize just how far a, "Hey, you're doing a good job," how far that will take a person, you know, and motivate them to continue doing what they're doing, kind of thing. So let's see. Big D, you're not able to have a straw swath with that crop. Um, you know what? I didn't try to see if we could do a straw swath. Let me get through this. Let me get through this row here, and I'll get lined up and see. Let's see. Enable straw swath. I know Rye will let you do a straw swath. I didn't bother checking to see if there was a straw swath available for Spelt. So let's see. We're going to test this in real time. Let me get over just a little bit more. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. There's a straw swath right there. So for this particular machine, it must have just defaulted to not being enabled. But yeah, we can make a straw swath of this one, so that's awesome. Let's see. I always do a straw swath whenever possible, even if I do not need the straw. I sell it because every penny counts. Absolutely. Now this is a contract field, so I don't, unless I were to have the forage harvester, I wouldn't be able to actually do anything with it, to be able to pick it up and whatnot. So it's just one of those that we're just kind of doing it just to see if in theory it was going to work or not. But yeah, so far so good. Now let's go back to the regular shop. There we go. There we go. We want the Russell mash in the back. Now this one, ooh, is this one, I think this was 20. So where's 20 from here? 20. Okay, so that's over in the east. Oh, so this is going to take a little while to get there. And let's take this. Drop that there. I absolutely love that. I don't know. I'm a simple man, and well, you know what it is that I started playing Farming Simulator back in FS19, and I would avoid using trailers like I would avoid the plague, because of just how unable you were able to reliably keep the headers on the trailers. It was always just such a nightmare to do anything with. So now that we have a system in place where the headers will lock in place and they'll just kind of stay there unless acted upon, it's really nice to use that as kind of your own personal advantage kind of thing. Let's see. Yep, we're going that direction. There we go. The little Zator Major. That is an interesting sound. Huh. Anyways, let's back that out. can't tell if that's road noise that I'm hearing that's making it sound kind of floppy, or if that's the engine. I've got my volume in my headset turned down a little bit lower than I normally do, and I'm not able to hear those kind of detectable notes. That, and unfortunately, I don't have the greatest hearing in the world. At least my wife always tells me that. Let's see. Dust Bunny, you don't want to lease the Forge pickup? So it's one of those that I could certainly lease it and could pick up the straw and all that stuff. But it's one of those that with this particular gameplay, I'm kind of doing a semi-realistic kind of gameplay. I'm not saying that, it's off the table or anything like that, but it's one of those where we're trying to let the story kind of progress as naturally as it possibly can, and having that additional source of revenue is going to allow me to kind of move about and do things a little too quickly, more than what I'm kind of gearing this particular series to go to. So it's one of those that, for now at least, it's one of those I'm just kind of rein it in and not really utilize that portion of it just yet. Let's see. Jody, Harveston owns Missouri. Sorry, Jody, I don't know what that one is. Dust Bunny, Big D, are you on console or PC? So I'm on console, and specifically I'm on Xbox. So I've got a Xbox Series X that I play on. So it's one of those, ooh, can the worker? Yes, the worker figured it out. Nice. So it's one of those that I keep seeing all this really, well, I get a lot of players who will come onto the streams here and they'll start talking to me about how awesome the mods are and how awesome the gameplay is on PC compared to, console. And it's one of those, I think it was JG Wiggums. Was it JG Wiggums, or was it oh goodness, I can't remember their name. KJ Wiggums, I believe was one of them, who was telling us how awesome it is to be on PC, and how you can kind of go about doing things on PC that you can't do on Xbox or PlayStation. And it's just one of those that right now, the way things are, I can't justify just spending another $60+ on going to a PC version. That, and it's one of those, I've got my Xbox and I'm gonna play on it until it eventually croaks, kind of thing. But it's, I don't know, it's just one of those that I've always been kind of a hardcore console player and never really got into PC gaming per se. There are some PC games I used to play back in the day, but it's not nothing like this. I've always grown up, well, because of the times that I grew up in. I grew up with the original Atari, playing on the Nintendo and all that stuff. So I'm used to having the controller in my hand and the big brick in front of me, playing on my television set, kind of thing. So I don't know, it's one of those that's just kind of what I grew up with and got used to. Let's see. Go back to chat real quick. Peter, I have to go. My friend enjoyed your stream. Have to take my wife back to the hospital. Oh, I hope everything's okay. Had a home for a week. And that's why I need to read the rest of the comment before. Well, Peter, I hope you have a fantastic night, or as good as it can be, going back to a hospital. I'm really sorry to hear about that, but thank you for coming on and hanging out with us tonight. I hope we get to see you again soon, and hang out with us sometime later on. Let's see, Jody. what's some ways to do fast farming? So there's for console, there's tons of options to do fast farming. So depending on what portion of the farming you're doing, there's tons of different avenues. So with like let's use harvesting as an example. One of the kind of methods of fast farming that's available is looking at the mods to see if they are modded to have greater capacities or thing like that. And I know that's not traditionally what people would say is fast farming. Typically fast farming refers to being able to go as fast as the maximum output of the machine. But what I consider fast farming is basically what you can do to make any job that you're doing just a little bit faster. So a good example of fast farming to me would be using the Colossal pack or the Colossus pack and having the greater capacities and the higher working speeds. Those are some ways that you could do fast farming using specific mods. There are some mods where you can technically break them and be able to use them at a faster capacity than what they're supposed to work at. So an example of that would be the Krone Big M mower, and specifically this device here. So what you can use this for is harvesting your grass, is cutting your grass. And what you can do is you can lower down the wings of the mower down to the ground, and if you double tap, it's the A button on Xbox or it's the X on PlayStation. If you double tap that, or I'm sorry, it's the left bumper and the A/X. If you double tap that really fast, it raises up the mower deck just a little bit, but it still recognizes that it's cutting and doing work. And what ends up happening is that it tricks the machine to think, okay, well, I can go the speed of the harvester not doing work rather than the speed of the harvester that's cutting grass, kind of thing. So that's another example of being able to fast farm. There's other bits of equipment that allow you to fast farm to some degree, shape, or form. Look out for anything that will hook up to either a ball hitch or a pin hitch. And what I mean by that is if you're looking under tools, and let's say we're going under plows, if we look at something like this John Deere plow. Now, if you were to hook this up to your regular tractor, what happens is that it works just like this plow should. It has a maximum working capacity or working speed of 9 miles per hour, and it'll plow at almost 17 meters. So it's one of those where you can use it as the normal thing. But if you utilize another mod like the what's it called? This one. The drawbar. If you utilize the drawbar in front of that plow, it then doesn't recognize that you're hooked up to your tractor. And you can actually lower it down and it runs and operates as if you are using a normal piece of equipment. It doesn't recognize the plow is there anymore. So it's one of those that you can... There's always little quirks and ways around and allow people to do fast farming. And it's one of those that I know some people get upset and they're like, oh, why are you telling people how they can cheat in the game, kind of thing. It's because this game is whatever somebody wants it to be. So if somebody wants to fast farm, hey, have at it, do it. It's whatever is good for you, kind of thing. And if fast farming isn't something that you want to do, hey, you don't have to do it. That's, again, the great thing about this game is whatever you want it to be when you want it to be it. And I will steadfast hold to that one. Let's see, let's go ahead and unload. And once I get over here, I'll catch up with the chat and see what everyone's saying up until this point. Let's see, let's stop right here. Ooh, there we go. Where was I? Okay. So MGL, aka Mike, says, "Take care, Peter." Dust Bunny, Peter, we'll keep your wife in our prayers. Yes, absolutely. We'll keep your wife in our prayers. Hopefully everything works out to where, it's hopefully not as bad that. Trying to think of the proper words. Hopefully everything's going to be okay in the end. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. When everything's said and done, hopefully it's just a bump in the road, and that's it. Let's see. NGO, really good crew and supportive. Yes, that's exactly what we try and be here. Is we've tried to carve out a really good corner of the internet to be able to just come out, have fun, support one another, and just be friendly, kind of thing. And that's all we ask for on this channel, is just come here and be cool. That's it. That's it. There's no reason to be anything other than cool around here. So that's what we shoot for, is just being supportive of one another. Like we were mentioning earlier, Jody announced earlier that his wife's pregnant, and we're so happy for him and so happy for his wife. We're wishing them nothing but the best. It is just a fantastic thing. So that's the kind of community that we're developing here, and I'm so proud and so happy about it. Let's see. Nope, sorry. Jody, you available? A wonderful chat. Yes, I greatly appreciate that. I really do. Knowing that people feel that kind of, that same kind of vibe that I feel, just makes it, just kind of confirms that we're doing the right thing around here. And hopefully we continue to grow, we continue to welcome more and more people into the fold, and we continue to make this an awesome place to be. And here's the thing. This is the internet. Eventually, one day, it's going to happen to where we run into somebody who's not as cool, that's not interested in being, the way that we want this channel to be. And when that day comes, we'll address it. Unfortunately, like I said, that is what the internet is. But when that day comes, when that eventuality happens, hopefully we'll have the mechanisms in place to be able to, either reel them in or see them out, kind of thing. But I truly think that you get out of things what you put into them, and if we're here trying to make a positive space, trying to be cool with everybody who comes in and whatnot, then I think that people will in turn also, kind of funnel to that kind of, goodwill and energy that we are putting out there as well. So here's hoping, at least. Let's see. Dust Bunny. There's a lot of content creators that prefer console, i.e. Mr. C the P, Farm Sim, Snowy, Rusty Money Gaming, Just Farmer, and to name a few. Yes. And it's one of those that, like I said, it's kind of just a leftover of what I grew up with. I'm used to having that kind of brick and console and controller, and I know you can hook up a controller to most PCs and be able to play with a controller, and I know there's even the controllers. I know Mr. C the P is going through this kind of growing pain still. He's missing his what is that, side panel, the whole little push button thing that he had that would work on FS19 that doesn't work on his PlayStation 5, kind of thing. So it's one of those that I know there's a lot of perks and benefits to PC play, but it's just one of those that I guess I'm a product of the era that I grew up in and the environment that kind of made me, kind of thing. And that includes playing on consoles. Like I said, I've been playing on consoles since the old Atari days. So I had an old original Atari from way back when. Eventually got a not a Nintendo, Super Nintendo, a Nintendo and a Super Nintendo, a Sega, so on and so forth. I've been playing on consoles since consoles were a thing. The only one that I didn't have, the one that preceded the Atari, I believe was the... Oh, goodness. It wasn't the Commodore. Anyways, one of those... there was one particular console that preceded the Atari. It was another 8-bit console, but it wasn't anywhere near as popular as Atari was. So it was just one of those that... Wait, what? Oh, really? No more space for the sheep. Well, that's... Ooh, let's go ahead and empty that out. Kind of been sitting here droning on, well, not droning on, but talking on and forgetting, hey, we have other workers that we have going at the moment. Oh, goodness. There we go. But, we're... Oh, Dust Bunny, thank you. Yes, words are hard. They are hard. Oh, goodness. And let's see. Jody, finished doing the harvest on Missouri. Nice. Yes, so... I know I've talked about Missouri a lot, the Alma, Missouri map. But, yeah, it's one of those that... When I did the map tour on it and I first hopped onto it, and so to kind of give you a understanding and insight of how my day tends to go, is typically around lunchtime, around 12 o'clock, I will take my lunch break from work and I will hop onto the mod hub to see if any new mods or maps have loaded onto there. Well, then after I take a look, let me go. I'll then decide what kind of day I'm going to have. So, and that, ooh, hey, I do have 6 pallets here. Well, that's a thing. I need to take that and sell it. Or you know what? Should I just put that off to the side? You know what? That's what I'll do. I'll just grab my telehandler. I'll move it out of the way. So that way I can just deal with it later. Because who knows what I can do with it. There we go. I don't want to necessarily get rid of it and sell it off and then turns out, you know what, I'm going to make fabric. Oh, hey, I'm going to use a tailor shop, kind of thing. It'd be kind of short-sighted of me just to kind of up and get rid of it without kind of fully thinking it out. I just realized something. The pallets are turned sideways. Well, let's do that then. So what I can do is load these over here for now. So yeah, we're just gonna get some of these out of the way so we can start spawning some new... Yeah, nice. Alright, let's see what else everybody else is saying. Let's see. Dust Bunny. There was something called an Odyssey that was prior to the Atari. You know what? That might be it. Is that the one you're talking... That does sound familiar. Because I know there was the old Commodore 64, but I don't think that was... I
don't think that was technically a console as much as it was a kind of dedicated uh, gaming PC per se. So yeah, here we go. We'll just kind of tuck this all over here. Leave some more space for the sheep to produce. That is the one thing I really like about these pallet forks. For anybody who doesn't like using pallet forks, consider using the pallet forks from the CSZ pack. And the reason that is that if you hit the left bumper and you look at the very top there, it says disable collisions with fork. Now, what happens is that, let's say you don't come at this at the perfect angle. Like this one I can't really get to without kind of coming in through the other doors and then just making a whole spectacle of things. I can disable the collisions until I actually get the pallet fork underneath. Oops, it helps too if I can... Oh, hey, there's a door there. Oh my goodness. I keep hitting it. It's like, why is it not letting me go? It's because you're hitting the door, genius. Oh goodness. But you can disable the collisions from the pallet forks and then re-enable them. And now, not the greatest of examples, but it is working. And then I can get this over to this location here. Drop it down, disable the collisions, and now, boom. So, really nice way of being able to use pallet forks if pallet forks are not your friend. There's also the one set of pallet forks by Mac Trucker that has the straps kind of built in, so you can kind of disable and enable the strapping mechanism with the pallet fork, which is really nice. Let's go ahead and finish. Boop. The first three are all nice and stacked in a nice straight line. The last three are just kind of kind of turned off to the side there. Oh well. The way I see it is, you win some, you lose some, and I'll say I won one half of this. Let's go with that. We'll go with a little bit of a positive. Oh, and give me just 1 second. I'm going to put the stream on a hold just really fast and then be right back. Sorry about that. My wife is getting ready to go to bed, so I had to wish her good night. Let's go ahead and park this over under the shed, as we tend to do. Oh, and apparently my wife is now telling me I have to go to bed. So we have the smart switches and stuff hooked up in the house. And she must have told the whole system to go to bed because all the lights and stuff just turned off in my in my room that I'm recording in. Oh goodness, gotta love it, gotta love it. Let's see. So that's all taken care of. Ooh, you know what? Just dawned on me. I didn't shut the gate. Let's go and shut the gate, and then I'll catch fully up with the chat and see what everyone's saying up until this point. Oh, there we go. let's get over and empty it out first, and then we'll catch up with the chat. There we go. Come on, little Zador. You can do it. Oof. Just oof. Come on. You know, I don't know why I'm driving around the outer perimeter of the field, because I could have just cut right through and... Ay, ay, ay. Anyways. Because, of course, I'm just going to go park right next to it and not turn the harvester around. Oh, let's see. There's the Odyssey. Hillbilly Farmer. There's the Sega Genesis. So yeah, the Sega Genesis came out after the Nintendo and the... it came out around the same time as the Super Nintendo, because the Sega Genesis was a 16-bit system. Let's see. MGL. There was Darkness Before the Fire. It was too far back. Yes. Yes. MGL, I love it. 2 watching. Who else is here? 3 now. See, that's the problem with YouTube is I have no idea who's watching unless people are communicating in the chat. So, like I say all the time, if you're out there in the chat and I don't know that you're out there, give yourself a shout out. Let me know that you're there, because I do not know who's out there. So I can only take generalized guesses based on anybody who's kind of chatting in the moment kind of thing. Ooh, you know what? I need to take this out because it's a full trailer. Where is this going? So 20. I'm on 20. Yes, I'm on 20. Farmer's Market. Tally ho. Let's go to the farmer's market. And then, let's see. So we are all caught up with the chat. And this is actually a good opportunity for me to give a shout out to my channel members. So, starting with the original Tier 2 channel member, Crimea River. Thank you, Crimea River, so much for being a channel member for as long as you have. I greatly appreciate you being there. It's just fantastic. And again, that what is it, level 3 badge that you have right now looks fantastic. Absolutely love it. And also, Mark K, thank you for being a Tier 2 channel member. Greatly appreciate you being there as well. And unfortunately, I'm sad to say that I actually lost my very first channel member the other day. I just noticed it before coming onto the stream here. So I was a little bummed out about that, but it's bound to happen. You know, members come, they go. But in the end, I greatly appreciate every single person who is a channel member, who's not a channel member. If you're just here hanging out with us, if you're here, you know, for the long haul, I greatly appreciate every single person out there. I genuinely love the experience that we're creating here, love the community, love the I just love it. And as I mentioned several times before, I didn't realize just how much I would enjoy being on this on live streams, doing this, communicating in real time with everybody. I didn't realize how much I enjoyed it until we finally all got together. We started doing this, and I found such great people to hang out with, to communicate with. It's just a fantastic experience. So thank everybody for being there for me, for being there for the channel, and just, like I said, greatly appreciate every single one of you. And before I move on, if you are interested in being a channel member, please check out the join button down below on the main page. It will allow you to gain access to things like early access to edited content, that is the Let's Plays and the shorts that are available on the channel. It also gives you a shout out on every single live stream that we have, custom badges, custom emojis, the whole 9 yards. We have different tiers for those who... Oh, I'm about to drive past the sell point. We have different tiers, so if you want to have one set of perks versus another, or you're only able to commit to one tier level versus another, that's great. And again, nothing is mandatory. Don't think that there's any sort of obligation whatsoever to be a channel member, to stay on as a channel member. I greatly appreciate it, and that's why I have it set up in a very specific way, is for it not to be exclusionary. That is just something that for those who enjoy the content, for people who want to help support the longevity and the growth of this channel, it is there for that reason alone. So again, thank you everybody who's out there who's not paying attention, but for everybody who's out there at the moment, who's a subscriber to the channel, who's a member to the channel. Thank everyone so very, very much. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. And now, with that being said, let me go ahead and get back to that field. I need to then unload the first field. And you know what? I need to turn the lights back on because it's still dark where I'm at right now, and it's not good to be staring at a screen with the room pitch dark. So let's break out the phone. Let's see. That's the living room. There we go. Oh, and I turned on all the lights, not just the two that I wanted. There we go. Now we're cooking with peanut oil. Oh, much better. Much, much better. So we're going to go ahead and get back to the field at 19 miles an hour. It's so slow. So slow. But it's okay. We'll get there. Let's see. I just want to see something on my screen real quick. Oops, I'm on the wrong screen. Okay, perfect. Okay, there we go. But yeah, something else that I wanted to mention as well regarding the Alma, Missouri map. So I know I've talked about it several times now in this stream alone, but another reason why I was so in love with that particular map is because of all the additional stuff that Celebuki kind of packs into their map. And what I mean by that are the kind of production points that are available. As well as the production points, there's also things like the different crop types. There's the greenhouse that grows pumpkins. I mean, there's so much kind of packed into the map on top of things. But then there's also the details, and anybody who's a follower of the channel knows that I'm a sucker when it comes to details. Small little things that a map maker will put into a map that just makes it that little step extra, that doesn't necessarily have a firm point or purpose to it, but it's there, and it's to just bring out that level of detail. And that's why I tend to really enjoy Zero Ito and their maps. That's why I enjoy Celebuki and their maps. Now, oftentimes, being a console player, that's kind of a double-edged sword. And why I say that is because, we have limited space on consoles, and we have slots on consoles. So unless you have the latest generation console, you're working with half the slots or half the space kind of thing. It's one of those that it can be kind of at a premium. So I understand that if like previous gen players don't necessarily care for those higher megabyte maps or those higher slot count maps, I totally get it, especially coming from FS19 and playing that particular game and seeing how that kind of progressed along. to where you were seeing maps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually the consoles just weren't strong enough to be able to handle them, without, major reconstruction on the player's end kind of thing. So it's one of those, I understand where a lot of people come from saying, oh, well, I don't like this map because it's such a huge download, or I don't like this map because there's a lot of slot counts and things like that. I get it. But at the end of the day, I'm playing on, thankfully, a newest generation console, the Xbox Series X, so I'm able to kind of enjoy those higher downloads and those higher slot count maps that really kind of show what this game can really do, and what you can really kind of, when you really kind of oh, I'm full. That's what's going on here. Is this going to... Oh, these are all going to Farmer's Market. Okay, so that's just down the street. But yeah, at the end of the day, you can really kind of let the tabs loose and not have to worry as much about the slot counts as the size of the files and stuff like that. And it's really nice because then you can really just enjoy what the map maker's doing, kind of thing, and really kind of let the map makers kind of breathe life into the map, where those kind of restrictions that were previously in place with like FS19 are no longer in place. So it's long story short, it's a really nice kind of, it's really nice to have that ability at the end of the day. So yeah, when Alma came out and I saw that it was by Celebuki, and saw that Celebuki also included all their, like, the ketchup factory, the popcorn factory, and all that kind of stuff that we were used to seeing on Celebuki maps. We're used to seeing all of those particular things. We see them in Goldcrest Valley 22, and we see them in Iowa Plains View. Those two, I think, are the only two that Celebuki's made, other than, or at least released for FS22, other than the most recent Alma. And the ability to see the additional effort, as well as the additional productions, the additional types, the additional everything, I think is top notch. I absolutely love it when map makers, put in that level of effort, and it's based off of a real place in America. Like, any map maker who can make a map that's based off of a real life location, wherever that location is, it doesn't necessarily have to be America, but if you can base it off a real life place, and then you can kind of point to that place and be like, this is what it looks like in real life, or even better, in my opinion, is when you can take the kind of satellite image and overlay that on top of the kind of map network and all that. That's really cool. That I really, really like. Like, Calmsden Farm is a good example of being able to take, like, a real life map image and then overlay the game over top of it. And it, I think, really shows the kind of, not the worth, but the kind of, the creativeness of the map maker, any map maker, who can then not only make the kind of real to life town or whatever the map is, like I said, Calmsden Farm, Alma, Missouri, but on top of that, make it also functional for gameplay. So having the production points, having the having all the things that are necessary that are available in this game, to then all of a sudden, to also have them, in the real life location, is a additional level, which is very awesome when a map maker does that. Let's see, did my harvester just cut the flowers here? Almost seems like it. Okay. Anyways, let's see. and we have gone quiet in the chat. I don't know what happened. We were all just talking it up just a little while ago, and now all of a sudden it's getting to be crickets out there. How's everyone doing so far? But you know what? I don't blame anybody right now, because it is almost 11:30. It's starting to get late. So, wait a minute. Didn't I just empty this out? Nope, that's the wrong. Let's go ahead and empty out this harvester. Oh yeah, it's starting to slow down. There it goes. Here we go. Dump that out right there. And then, oh, again, we've got to take this all the way to the farmer's market at 19 miles an hour. Holy smokes. You know what? At least if we had, like, the Steiger or something like that, 19 miles an hour is not a big deal when you're driving a big old beastly tractor kind of thing. One of the wiggle bottom tractors that we like to use. But 19 miles an hour in this little Zator, it's like, oh, it just makes it feel just so much like slower. I don't know why. Like, I know I'm going 19 miles an hour at my peak, but it's one of those, I'm going 19 miles an hour in a Zator, and it's, oh, it feels brutal sometimes. That's okay. We'll make it. We'll make it through this. We will get there. All right. So cruise control 19 miles an hour. We got this. We got this. Come on, little Zator. I think you can. I think you can. As you can see, in one of the previous episodes, we mowed all this over here, and we've got silage bales in the making. You know what? Yeah. I want to see where that's at. Now, I don't know why, but for some reason it's showing all the fields as the blue from, like, 27%. Okay. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. We can deal with 27%. But what was I saying? Ugh, that's, you know what? I've got to stop doing that. I have a really bad habit of getting that goldfish memory. It's like I'm sitting there talking about something, focused on something, and then all of a sudden, ooh, shiny object, and then I trail off, do whatever it is I see the shiny object, and then try to come back to what I was talking about before, and then it's gone. It's just gone. Ay. Let's see. MGL. You should check out some of Steven Spry map work. It's detailed, contoured work, importing one game. Okay. So, Steven Spray, I don't recognize them as a map maker. Is that a map maker who makes console maps, or is it just PCs? Because that's not one I'm actually familiar with. I'm bringing it up on my phone as we speak. Let's see. Steven? Did I type that wrong? Let's see. SPRY. Huh. Yeah, nothing's coming up for me on the mod hub for some reason. Don't know. Do you have a map name in particular, MGL? Just so I know which particular one you're talking about. Let's see. I will back check out more of your streams and playthroughs,
but I always find in ham streams. Oh, in ham stream, are you talking DJ Goham? Is that who you're referring to? Break. Let's see what we get here. Or in Discord. That's one thing that I think eventually this channel is going to get into is Discord. I don't know if it's something that I can get into right now, but might be something for the future, kind of thing. I'm not 100% certain about it just yet. 84. Okay, 84%. That's not bad. Let's see. In or on ham streams. Yeah, like I said, if you can tell me like the actual map name for that the Steven, is it Steven Spry? Yep, squirrel. Yes, I know exactly the reference you're making there with the movie Up. And as a as anybody who's a longtime viewer of the channel will tell you, I absolutely love whenever a movie reference is made like that. I absolutely love it. We will very often will bust out just random movie scenes, just often for no good reason, because I'm the one bringing them up, but I love the squirrel. For those who don't get that reference, check out the Disney Pixar movie Up. That is a very good movie. It's actually one of my wife and I's one of our favorites. Funny story too. For anybody who's seen the movie Up, there's a little picture book that the wife presents to the husband that kind of details all the adventures that they have gone on over the years in this picture book. My wife actually found that very same book and gave it to me with a bunch of pictures from our vacations and all that stuff. And it's one of the most treasured possessions that I have as like a gift from her, because it's got all of these really fond memories that we've gone, you know, all these trips and whatnot. So it was one of those that it's also because of the inside references and all that stuff. Just absolutely love it. But check it out if you haven't seen that movie Up. It's a really good movie. It was back before, you know, Disney kind of, in my opinion, has kind of went downhill quite a ways, in my opinion. So it was before they really kind of went over the deep end. Is when they were still in the business of entertaining people. Let's see. So let's go ahead and do this row here. I always find it comical in how the workers will kind of determine what is a good area to do the job versus what is a bad area to do the job. And you kind of see the aftermath of what job they're doing, and it's hilarious. Like this I understand because they have the tree here, so they're blocked off by the tree, they can't do anything, but they left that whole strip right there for one reason or another, don't know why. Let's see, no PC and its transport favors. Okay, so yeah, so because we play on console, that unfortunately I can't play PC games or PC maps, so that's unfortunate. Let's see, Van Ham Gaming. Oh, I haven't heard of Van Ham Gaming. I'll have to check that one out. Let me make a note so I don't forget.
feel like there's so many hams that, well, I shouldn't say there's so many hams out there because there's only two of them that I can think of, DJ Goham and now Van Ham. But I always like looking at other content creators and kind of the work that they do, because one thing that has been very surprising, well, yeah, surprising, is that the other content creators that I have come across in the community really are, a lot of them I've talked to are genuinely really nice people. And what I mean by that is typically when you have, you know, somebody who's in the similar business space as you are, you tend not to get along very well. You tend to see each other as competition or whatever the case may be. But for the experiences that I've had up until this point, I haven't experienced that kind of mentality where, oh, well, you know, every view you get is one less view for me kind of thing. And I personally don't see it that way. You know, I personally see it as, you know, this is a area where, you know, there's a great many people who can come in and out and see content that they enjoy all the time kind of thing. And that there's, if you're not watching my content today, well, there's always tomorrow kind of thing. So it's one of those that it's really nice to see that there's other content creators who are willing to kind of, wait a minute, why am I still seeing a dark spot over there? Huh. So for some reason there's a dark spot right here, but I'm not seeing, yeah, not seeing anything there. So I'm going to take it as it's okay and just not worry about it. But like I was saying, it's one of those that it's really nice to see that it's not a kind of zero sum game kind of atmosphere. You know, like I don't feel like I'm necessarily in competition with like a Sealy P or DJ Goham or any other content creator personally. It's one of those that I'm creating my own space and my own, you know, with my own kind of habits and eccentricities and all that kind of stuff. And if people like it, then they'll be here. If they don't, they don't. And it's fine. It's one of those that, you know I'm not going to be every single person's cup of tea kind of thing. But it's one of those that, like I said earlier, I'm grateful for the ones that are that I do appeal to. So that's, well, side note, that's also why I always say just how appreciative I am to people who have stopped in and hung out on the channel, come to the live streams, who watch the Let's Plays, who watch the shorts and all that, the map tours, the updates, everything. You know, I'm greatly appreciative to everybody. You know, and that's because, you know, I know that this is one of those spaces where, you know, it's all about presenting myself to those who want to be here kind of thing. And those who don't, they can, you know, find somebody who appeals to them more kind of thing. And that's fantastic. I think that's a great way to be, to where there's so many different creators out there that there's going to be somebody out there that kind of fits everybody's palette kind of thing. And at the end of the day, you know, not having to feel that kind of pressure from other creators, but rather feeling a sense of camaraderie between other creators is fantastic. You know, and I was watching something a while back, I think it was DJ Goham and Mr. Sealy P, where they kind of got together and were talking to each other over, was it GameCon or FarmCon? I think it was FarmCon. And they were sitting there talking about how before that they had never really met each other or anything like that, and they were just talking just how genuinely nice each other were. You know, how each other really enjoyed being in each other's company kind of thing. And I think that that was fantastic, being able to, not feel that kind of pressure of competitive, rivalry and stuff like that, and having a just farming simulator community, rather than, and being a part of said community, rather than, oh, well, I'm making my space and it's going to be, you know cutthroat, and I'm going to try and undercut people, and all. No, that's not something that I'm personally into, kind of thing, which might make me a bad business person, but at the end of the day, then meh. I guess that's kind of why I'm doing things the way that I do them. You know, I guess at the end of the day, I'd rather try and win people over with honey than vinegar. Let's see. So, we're going to take this all back to the farm. A little over 1,500 liters, so that's nice. I might actually stop over there real fast, and yeah, that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to empty out that harvester so it can keep chugging along. Because that's still got a few more passes to do. And it looks like it's doing a pretty decent job, too. It's not, well, I say that, and then I see one or two little sprigs right over there. And there. You just gotta love it. Gotta love it. Oh, AI. When will you do the job we hired you for? Let's see. So we're going to go ahead and finish unloading this. Move this trailer out of the way. That should be able to finish the rest of this field after this kind of go around. We'll drive that trailer back, empty it out. Alright, come on. Almost. Oh. That's something that I always found really weird about this game, is occasionally when you fill and refill a harvester, you'll see the contents filling up the bin the first time around, but as you continue to empty and load the harvester post that first time, it doesn't always show you the visual representation in the hopper bin. I always found that to be weird. I don't know why it does that. And it's something that's been going on, like it's with mods, it's with non-mods. So to me, it seems like it's an issue more with the game rather than the piece of equipment itself. So not quite sure what the story is with that. Let's see, we'll go ahead, take this back to the farm. At 19 miles an hour. We'll get there. We'll get there. And I don't know why. I really don't know why. But all of a sudden, that one rap song all of a sudden just kind of went shooting into my brain. I don't know why, but they see me rolling, they hating. I don't know why. I don't know why. And I'm not a huge fan of rap music in general, but I don't know why that one just all of a sudden came just rocketing into my brain. Oh, you know what? I know exactly why now. I've actually been singing a lot. So my daughter, my wife and I bought my daughter this little tricycle. She's almost 2 years old. She'll be 2 in February. And we bought her this little tricycle, and it's got this little handlebar mechanism on the back of it that will actually steer the trike. So the actual front wheel will turn as you turn this rear kind of parental grip kind of thing. So she'll sit on it and she'll kind of hang on tight to it. She won't put her feet up on the trike wheel just yet, but she'll just kind of hang out and play on it and just have fun. They have mommy and daddy kind of push her around the house and push her around outside. And for some reason, the other day, that song again came rolling into my head, and I started singing it in front of my wife, and she just started, busting out laughing because, she sees my little, or our little almost 2-year-old daughter, and she starts hearing that song. They see me rolling, they hating, all trying to catch me riding. It was just one of those. It was just really kind of funny in the moment. So that's the reason why that it kind of is still here, but I don't know what kind of triggered it at this point in time. Do I have a front 3-point link? No, I do not. Sad face. There we go. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Swivel axle trailers are the bane of mine and every farmer's existence. I'm convinced. There we go. 1,500 liters of wheat. Booyah. Check it out. We got quite a bit of inventory here. Almost 40,000 liters of rye, 15,000 liters of corn, 12,000 liters of barley, sorghum, wheat, oats. We're squirreling away pretty good here. That's not that bad. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go ahead and finish this contract. Boop. There we go. And we still have this one that we haven't even started just yet. Oof. Just oof. Okay, so let's see how this one's going. Okay, well, it's going. It's chugging along. Let's take a look at the map. We're here. Okay. Yeah, all right, cool. Well, while that's working, let's go ahead and get back to here. Now this... Oh, oh, it's all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. It means we're going to have to drive at 13 miles an hour with this. You know what? This is what we're going to do. We're going to send the trailer first. We're going to send this first, and then we'll just let the computer drive it at 13 miles an hour. Ooh, hey, there's a fence there. So I've pointed this out a few times now, but anybody having issues with a swivel axle trailer, take a look at hooking up to the front of your tractor as opposed to the rear. Now, if you hook it up to the front, the nice thing about this is now you can kind of drive going forward. You're not having to think in, reverse and reverse again, because of the swivel axle trailer. If you're pushing it from the rear and you're backing up, you're not only having to think, okay, which way are my wheels going to turn, if I need to go in a certain direction, but then also having to think about it in reverse because of the pivot in the trailer kind of thing. So it's like the reverse of the reverse kind of thing. But what's nice is with this, you kind of get two benefits. One, you can drive forward, so you can very easily know, okay, well, I need to turn left or I need to turn right, and you're not having to fight the opposite direction kind of thing. But what's also nice is because the turning wheels of your tractor are so much closer to the swivel axle, it actually makes your turning sharpness that much greater. So you're not having to necessarily worry about over or under correcting. You're able to kind of make finer, more precise turns than you could before. So let's go ahead we'll send this off. Let's see. Oh, wow. I don't think I've ever been down to this corner of the map before. Oh, there's a first time for everything. Let's go ahead and like that. Perfect. All right. And there it goes. Beauty. And again, we're just going to send the top liner. Oh, hey. I was already running. Oh, goodness. One of those. Can't win for winning. There we go. And again, anybody who's new to the channel, you'll know, like I mentioned before, it's almost midnight. I work a full-time job, and the later it gets into the night, the sillier I tend to get. So a silly Dave is a happy Dave, and as best as I can tell, silly Dave tends to be a little entertaining. So we'll see how this goes and how tired I end up getting up until this point. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, come on. Big money, no whammies, no whammies. Why are we blocked? Why? Is it because the car got too close? Is that what you're upset about? Oh, come on. Come on, you can do it. Come on, keep pulling. Hey, there we go. Okay. Well, good luck, Mr. Harvester. I have bigger and better things to do. Like unload this harvester. Let's see. So let's go ahead. Alright, so we're 67% full here. Go. There's a couple little blades here and there. I'm not going to bother getting those. There we go. Top off the trailer and then take that back to the farmer's market. Let's see. So we can follow this little 2-track down to the main road. And then head over to the farmer's market, like I mentioned. Oh, hey, there's a pole there. Don't. Ooh. Completely didn't see that pole. Kind of feel like that South Park episode. It's coming right for us. That's how I feel like that pole was. Again, for those who are not familiar with what I'm talking about there, there's an amazing South Park episode where the uncle of one of the kids takes the kids out hunting. And anytime any creature becomes visible to them, even though it's not hunting season for that animal, they scream, "Look out, it's coming right for us." And then they shoot it, and that's their kind of workaround on how to be able to hunt for that particular animal without having a license for that animal. And it's a funny episode because it's just so over the top and ridiculous that which typically any kind of comedy like that tends to be over the top. And let's see. All right, 95%. Okay. Wonder how much I'm going to have at the end of this, because Figure 95% that I've transported. That's 2 full trailer loads. All I've got left in the harvester is what I've got left, so hopefully it's not too much more. Okay, so climb the hill. Oh, come on. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. There we go. Yeah, worker's blocked. Whoa. Easy. Okay. So let's see what we got left here. Okay. Okay. We got more than I thought that we had in here. It's not too bad. Let's see. So 4,389. So my best guess is we'll have about 23, maybe 2,700 liters left over. I mean, based on the size of the field, that's kind of my best guess. Ooh, hey. Let's see. So we're just going to take this back and finish out this contract, and then we can take this and actually put it into the silo as well. It's one of those I get really shy about getting right up behind the cars in this game, because you get too close to them, all of a sudden they register as if you're behind them. Or maybe they're just brake checking you. Maybe that's what they're doing. Like, hey, we don't like that this tractor's right behind us. Brake! Oh, so I was a little bit off there. So 3,200 is what we have left over, and I wasn't the fastest to get onto the stop button, so yeah, we might have had closer to like 35. So, hey, I'll take it. I will never turn down extra product. I don't even think I have a ton of spelt in storage at the moment. Let's see. No, I have nothing in. Whoa. And that is why you don't drive and take a look at something else at the same time. So yeah, as I go and do it again. So yeah, no spelt. Okay, let's see. So head back to the farm. We'll dump this off, complete the contract. We'll then get the last contract going for the evening here, which is all the way down in the corner of the map. Like I said, I've never actually been in that corner before, so I'm actually very interested to see how that portion of the map looks. This will be the first time where I've actually had a contract or any kind of need to be over there up until this point, so I'm actually kind of excited. Overtake on the corner. Again, like I was saying earlier, if I drove in real life the same way that I drive in this game sometimes, nope. Just flat out no. I wouldn't have a license. I'd be on every most wanted list and then some. Would not be good. Let's see, so let's park right here. Whoa, easy, easy. Whoa, too sharp. Yeah, you can see what I was talking about earlier and how it's, I mean, for me personally, it's so much easier to hook it up to the front and then just push it forward rather than to back up and try and deal with the kind of reverse of the reverse kind of thing. And that's gone. Sweet. Now, oh hey. Oh hey. Um So that's a thing. Well, what's even better is it's out in the middle of somebody's field. Like, it didn't stay on the road or anything like that. It just like, hi, I'm here. Let me just ram my way into the situation here. Never mind that harvester by its... Wait a minute. Oh, I didn't know there was an actual additional road that led off the edge of the map. Oh, that's cool. Oh, hey. No, don't you do that now. I was stuck. Like, there's actually a barrier right here. Okay, anyways. Dust Bunny, can't stay awake, need to sign off. Thanks for another great stream. Take care, sir. Hey, Dust Bunny, thank you so much for hopping on tonight. I, again, am so glad that you got your place sold and that everything's starting to fall into place for you. I hope you have a wonderful night. Take care. We'll see you again next time. So let's go ahead and get this piece of equipment out of somebody else's field. So I don't think they would appreciate that too much, as we just destroyed a good section of their field. Let's see. Try to watch your next one. I appreciate it, but again, I understand that if you're busy, that it's okay. So, oh, hey, there we go. But again, appreciate you stopping by tonight. Hope you have a fantastic night, and we'll see you again soon. Let's see. So let's go ahead and make our headland. I don't think it's going to have to be too big of a headland, just because there's no like main road or traffic around here. So should be able to just kind of do a single lane around. Might even be able to just turn it on once we get over to the opposite edge of this field. What does this field look like? Oh, it's just a square. Okay. Well, rectangle. So we'll see. We'll fire up the worker and kind of go from there. And see, we have another rye field. I am really surprised in how much this map leans into the products that are not that are unique to this map. I'm really shocked at how much like all the fields seem like they're using like rye spelt in not even treacle. I haven't really seen a harvesting contract for treacle just yet, so I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I mean, I've got almost 40,000 liters of rye. Like 30,000 of that was from my field. I don't know. Don't know if it's one of those where... There we go. Let's go ahead and do that. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just imagining things, which is certainly within the realm of possibility. So now we're just gonna chug along. Let's actually get this out of the way. There we go. Something like right here. That should be close enough. Out of the way. Shouldn't interfere with anything. What did I do with the... Oh, there it is right there. Never mind. Shouldn't interfere with the harvester at all. Pop in there and we'll just kind of chug along. So, like I said, I hope everyone who's still watching, I hope everyone's enjoying the stream so far. This is going to be our last contract before we kind of start wrapping things up. But we do have, let's see, 4 outstanding contracts and the possibility of more popping up when I do a power cycle. So maybe, depending on what happens tomorrow with the mod hub and all that, possible that we have a live stream number 2. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. If it's just these 4 contracts, then maybe not. Well, could always do the 4 contracts and then skip ahead in the day. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how tomorrow goes and how everything kind of shakes out from there. So, let's see. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, I was just looking at some settings just real quick, just making sure that the stream health was still in the green. And one of those things that you should check out every once in a while as a streamer, just to make sure that signal's going out properly and nothing's kind of cropping up in the background you're not aware of. But let's see. So once this is done, oh, you know what? While that's happening, let's go back to the farm real quick. Hop over, hop over. So we've got 6,000 liters of wool. So what is wool going for right now? Wool is going for up and away. Here it is. 1,700 and change. Okay. So 6,000 liters, you're talking about $10,000-$11,000, give or take. Could be as high as 2,300 in April. We're in July, so we're still several, well, we're just past that. We're actually hitting the lower points for it. But what if we were to buy a spinnery? 6,700. Okay. So we could make fabric and eventually make some clothes. Could be something we work towards. Is there a tailor shop on this map? I don't know, actually. Okay. Oh, yeah, there is. Tailor shop and spinnery right there. How much is a spinnery? Is it 60,000, isn't it? Yeah, 60,000. Okay. I don't know. Maybe we might consider buying that. And the tailor shop's over here, and this is $100,000. Which is nice, because then all we'd have to do is take from the spinnery here, because the output is right here. You could take from here and take it over here. That'd be really simple. Okay, okay. I mean, we do have the money to be able to purchase the spinnery. But again, for anybody who's familiar with the channel, so we're kind of hemming and hawing right now just because it's one of those so the live streams isn't necessarily where we make the kind of progress in the game itself. We're basically using the live stream as a mode of record. So for those who are familiar with any of the kind of trials and tribulations of a streamer like Mr. Seeley P or a DJ Goham, they often have people in their communities who accuse them of either porting in money or kind of doing things a little bit on the shady side. And Mr. Seeley P addresses it by taking screenshots and showing how they completed contracts. Well, this is kind of my screenshot of the contracts, is just doing the work during the live stream, but we don't actually make like storyline progress. All of that storyline progress is held in the is held for the Let's Play series and things like that. So that's where the kind of story progresses, where we actually kind of buy and build up things from there. So I'm sitting here kind of humming and hawing over the spinnery, but not going to go ahead and purchase anything until... Whoa, what just happened? Stop. Just all stop. There we go. Until the live streams and things like that. So let's see. MGL, I'm back. Bye, but Dust Bunny. Okay, bye as well. MGL, hey, thanks for. Seems I just got back in time to say goodbye to them. Sorry, Hillbilly. I just completely skipped over what you were saying. So Hillbilly says, I hate to do this, but I have to be. Oh, wow, 3 a.m. Take my son to the flea market for work. So I'll need to call it a night also. Truly enjoyed your stream. Look forward to the next one. Have a good night. Hey, Hillbilly Farmer, thank you again so much for coming on and for chatting with us again. I know you'd mentioned how you kind of have been on several streams and in the background, but I greatly, greatly appreciate you being in the foreground and letting us know that you're here. Hope you have a fantastic night. I'm sorry that you have to be up in a few hours to take your son to take them to the flea market. But it sounds like you're being a great mother by taking them up there and letting them do their thing. So I hope you have a fantastic night, and I hope you have a fantastic day tomorrow as well. And then MGL, you were saying bye to Dust Bunny and bye to Hillbilly as well. And Hillbilly was saying goodnight as well. Let's see. Seems like just got... Okay, we covered that. Your stream lags for me, but that's my internet, not anything on your end. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, MGL. It's one of those that sometimes I've heard of that happening, and if it does, it might help if you kind of turn off the stream and kind of turn it back on. But like you said, it might also be your internet as well, and I'm sorry if that's the case. Let's see. Oh, brakes. There we go. And we'll open that up as well. I think I can only fill the one at the moment. Let's see. Hillbilly Farmer, my pleasure. I live on the West Coast. Okay, so it's not as late, but it is bedtime. No, I can understand that. Good night. I hope you have a great night. And like I said, have a great tomorrow. Like I said, we're gonna go ahead and finish off this contract. Looks like we got one more pass after this. That's full. There we go. Let's put that in. There we go. They kind of clipped the edge of their field. Apparently this top liner has it out for everybody else's field. There's something about this top liner that I don't like. It's the oh goodness, what's that possessed car movie from back in the, what was it, the 70s? Maybe, was it Charlene? Carlene? I think it was written by, or directed by Steven Spielberg, if I'm not mistaken. Anybody out in the chat knows what I'm talking about, go ahead and throw it out there, because I, for the life of me, cannot remember. It was something I watched way back in the day, but it was about the possessed car that would go around and just start, you know, ending people.
Let's see. MGL. It does mean I end up watching a min or behind and then
jump it forward to cut. Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. Fire this back up. There we go. So yeah, we're gonna take this out to be sold. This should be, again, this should be the farmer's market. Just confirm. Yes, perfect. What kind of silly person parked their trailer right in the middle of the road? Oh wait, this silly person. Oh goodness. Alright, so let's see. Like I said, I haven't been out to this corner of the map yet, so okay. This is kind of an interesting area. And it's nice small fields too. This might be kind of a good area to buy and invest into later. So now we can take this over to the farmer's market, sell everything off that we can. Probably start with the rear trailer first, and then I can disconnect and leave it somewhere. Okay, so I tell you what, this map is really nice. Like, you get so many nice little sight lines and hills and undulations that are all over the map that really kind of accentuates the beauty of it. Now, I've never been to Italy or anything like that, to Tuscany, as this map implies. But if it's anything like this, then it to me would seem to be breathtaking. But I am the kind of person that would prefer to be out in the middle of nowhere rather than in the city or anything like that. But that's just me. Let's see.
Let's see. MGL cars.
I'm sorry, MGL. I have a disconnect somewhere where I just don't understand what that is in reference to. So let's go ahead and pull forward. There we go. Go ahead and empty this one out. So we should be able to dump out all of the contents from this one. There we go. Now we'll back up. Dump this out. Keep the finger over the trigger. We're not going to get a lot of product after this one. I'm thinking a few hundred liters at most. Oh, yes. That's how it's done. Finger over the trigger. Whoo. I can, Oh, there's a car. I've been saying it all night. If I drove in real life the same way I drive in this game, I'd be in a world of hurt. It's a nice looking map. Yes. I do really like this map. There's a lot of quirks and bugs with it, though. The map maker did put out an update here recently and address some of the issues on the map, But there has been other things that kind of cropped up here and there, um, that are. I've said this several times now, but the issues that have popped up on the map are not like so bad that makes you want to just stop and quit the game, kind of thing, to dump the map and start somewhere else. It's not that bad, but it's things that will crop up and make it to where it's just a little bit more difficult, or you'll have to come up with a creative solution to work your way around. So an example of that is, and probably the most crippling one that I've reached up until this point, which seems like it's fixed up until this point. I haven't tested it, and I need to test it before the next harvest season. But the grapevines that are on this map, if you change the ground state, actually deleted all the grapevines. And the way that the Let's Play is going, the grapevines were rather critical to the story. So it's one of those that I had to rebuild from scratch the whole thing and not change the ground state. But because the update came out, I might be able to get away with now changing that ground state moving forward. But it's one of those, I don't know if I want to take the risk of trying it and then all of a sudden it completely throws everything into disarray again. Because now we're at the point of, if something were to break to that degree, I think that'd probably be the end of Let's Play. I don't know if I would continue, because we have so many hours into this Let's Play up until this point. Alright, so we are back at the farm. Let's drop that off. And we're going to drop the 700 plus liters. Ooh, see, that's that whole working in reverse thing I was talking about. Yeah. Ooh. See, because the tires are so much closer to the axle, any... Whoa. Easy. Any turn that you do is far and away over exaggerated with the steering configuration like this, rather than... There we go. Perfect. Oh, that was perfect. There we go. Now let's go ahead and drop this. Nice. And then... Bam. And just like that, I think we have reached the end of this stream. We've gotten a lot accomplished tonight. We've gotten several contracts completed, including several harvesting contracts. We've got a whole bunch more harvest products here in the silo. We were able to address an issue that popped up with our sheep. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with the progress that we made tonight. Let's see. Let me just double check the cows and everything are all kind of set and ready to go. 31,000 liters of straw. They got 5,000 liters of slurry. That's something else that we could do, is move the slurry and manure over to the biogas plant. Because the manure... Yeah, 4,000 liters? Okay. And we got the small biogas on the backside of the farm. So yeah, I think... Let's see. Ooh, chickens. That's what I meant to check. Let's double check the chickens. Ooh, 357. Let's top that off just real fast. Let's see. We'll grab... And the sheep are good. We just looked at them. Actually, let me see some real quick. Sheep. We could throw some more grass or hay in there. This van, oh, I love this van. It's so good. As you can see, it's got a large capacity. Can load and unload. Let's see. And then bam. Just slams it in there. Doesn't hesitate. And now come on. It's such a long van though that it is not very friendly in tight places. There we go. Perfect. So now I think that is where we can leave it. And I think if there's another live stream to finish out the contracts, I mean, we got 4 contracts outstanding here. We might pick up a few more after the kind of power cycle that we do tonight. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way everything went tonight, and I hope. Oh, let me read this real quick. MGL. A couple weeks ago, I saw a map review. Small map, maybe French. It was brought from FS19 to 22, but now includes a heap of outside free ground. Can't find it now. Was that the one by Black Sheep Modding called The Campaign of France? Let's see. I think, yeah, so the campaign of France was released in September, so it was a few weeks ago. Was made by Black Sheep Modding. It is a smaller map with a large outer perimeter, river running through the middle of it, and that sounds like basically what you're describing. And I think it was originally based on an FS22 or FS19 map. So check that one out. Like I said, it's called The Campaign of France. And Black Sheep Modding, if it's not the one that you're thinking of, it's a really good map. Personally, I really like Black Sheep Modding. Very good map maker. Actually just got done before this series here, was doing a Let's Play on one of Black Sheep Modding's maps, the Valley of the Old Farm. So, yeah, it's, let's see. I think that's everything I wanted to double check just before we hopped off. This should be chugging away. And then, lastly, let me double check this. Oh yeah, that's looking good. That's looking good. Perfect. And that we're just using this one for storage. We're not doing anything particular. Perfect. And nice chicken pen, by the way. Well, thank you. That is the chicken pen that actually comes standard on the map. So it's one of those that... I mean, just overall, this map is really, really nice. It's got a really nice kind of starting farm area. It's got all the base game animals kind of built into it, with the exception of horses. It's got pig pen here, the sheep pens back here, chickens you saw over in the corner over there, and then there's a big cow pen
right up front. So really, really nice kind of a map. And then lastly, okay, night, David. Thanks for the stream. Hey, no problem, MGL. Thank you so much for hopping on tonight, and thank you everybody who's stopped by tonight and hung out with us. I greatly, greatly appreciate every single person who has stopped by, hung out, and participated in the stream. I hope that everybody has a fantastic night. And if you enjoyed the stream, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing that shows you're engaged with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Take care.